Marco Rubio is poised to take on yet another role, national security advisor in the Trump administration. The expected nomination of Mike Waltz for UN ambassador is setting up potential fireworks at a confirmation hearing. Here's Democratic Senator Mark Warner on a potential upcoming confirmation hearing.
What do you think his confirmation hearing would be like? Considering what we know about signal games.
I think it would be pretty brutal.
And joining me now is Democratic Congressman from California, our friend Robert Garcia. He represents the district, which includes the Port of Long Beach. He also serves on the House Oversight, Homeland Security, and Transportation Committees. Congressman, before I get to the national security, you were just at a May Day rally in a Republican district. Give me a sense of what people were saying there.
Yeah, I literally, Alex, just walked off the stage. We're here actually in Palm Springs, in Ken Calvert's district here in California in the desert, and people are fired up. Look, Ken Calvert won't hold town halls. He won't do rallies. He won't meet with his constituents. And so we're out here answering those questions and firing up voters. And people are demanding why Ken Calvert is going to support cuts to Medicaid, why he's working essentially to dismantle Social Security. And everyone was united in their opposition to Elon Musk, Doge, and these billionaire tax cuts. And so Ken Calvert has a lot of explaining to do. And we're going to keep coming out to this district and other Republican districts and holding them accountable.
Yeah, but how do you answer the question when they're firing away like, how come this? How come that? What do you say?
Look, we answer the questions honestly. Republicans in Congress have essentially no ideas. They're insistent on rolling back rights. They want to roll back benefits. They want to cut Medicaid and Social Security. And voters now understand that. They're seeing what's happening. They're seeing prices not going down, but going up. They're seeing what's happening with the tariffs. They're seeing that Donald Trump doesn't care about working class people. And so more and more every single day, the more the Democrats fight and push back hard and stand up against these lies, the American public understand that this is on Republicans, and we've got to continue to call them out. And so great crowd, great energy, and I think you're going to see more of that in the weeks to come.
Let's move on to national security. Does all of this reshuffling and Marco Rubio now taking on multiple titles at once, does it increase the national security risk? Are you worried about anything falling through the cracks?
I'm incredibly worried about our national security, as anyone should be. The idea that Pete Hegseth and Mike Waltz and others are essentially putting out our war plans and talking about all of our national security on Signal is crazy. With another reporter exposing secrets, exposing confidential information. We also know that there is just chaos. Mike Waltz gets fired from one job to then be maybe promoted to another, even though we know that sources in the administration are essentially coalescing to get rid of Mike Waltz from the national security advisor position, which now has happened. So we have no idea what Donald Trump actually wants, except clearly to make us less safe. He's ponying up and creating all these relationships with Putin, with North Korea. Why are we doing this? Why are we not standing up for Ukraine? Why are we not standing up for our allies? Why are we attacking Canada and Mexico, for God's sake? These are our allies in this country. So we should be very concerned about our national security. Mike Waltz shouldn't have one more single job in the government. And if he goes up for UN ambassador, every single Democrat should be voting no and asking the tough questions.
And that notwithstanding, of course, but is it a promotion to go from being national security advisor to the U.S. ambassador to the United Nations? I was told on a broadcast I was hosting yesterday by somebody, the fact is he's being jettisoned to New York. He will be out of the inner circle if he gets the position.
Yeah, look, I think that's right. Look, UN ambassador obviously is an important role. Mike Waltz should be nowhere near that position, nor should Elise Stefanik been. But look, they're still giving him another job, a job about diplomacy, when he should be doing absolutely nothing, considering he's putting our national secrets on a signal chain. So he should be fired from government. So should Pete Hegseth. We should not allow Waltz just to be the one discarded. Pete Hegseth must go and must be fired immediately.
Let's turn to the economy. Your district includes the Port of Long Beach. The executive director of the nearby Port of Los Angeles says shipments from China to the U.S. will plummet 35% next week due to Trump's tariffs. What is the domino effect here? I know you just came from a rally there. Are folks concerned?
I don't think people understand how serious this is. This is a huge, huge blow to the economy and to workers, what's happening right now. Look, I represent the second busiest container seaport in the United States. Los Angeles seaport is the top one. Combined, most of America's goods coming in from Asia are coming into these ports. We are right now seeing historic declines. We're seeing empty cargo containers coming into the United States. We're now seeing over 30% of a decline in the amount of imports that are coming in from China. This is catastrophic for workers. What you're going to start seeing in the weeks and months ahead is truckers doing less jobs. It's dock workers having less cargo to unload. And what that means is the consumer is going to have less on the shelves and prices are going to go up. People have to understand that the impact you're not going to feel exactly today, but you are going to feel it in the months ahead. This is going to have a ripple effect on the economy. Every empty container that's coming in is less jobs, less work, less warehousing, less trucking, impacts of the supply chain. This is catastrophic for America's ports. And I tell people, I agree, don't look to just the stock market for the health of the economy. Look at America's ports and trade. And so this is where we are headed. We're incredibly concerned. And these tariffs are going to be a massive tax increase on the American public.
Let me ask you quickly, because you went down to that prison in El Salvador trying to secure the release of Kilmer Garcia. When you have the president saying, yeah, I could bring him back, but I don't want to. Do you hope he's going to get back? What are your expectations?
Look, the United States Supreme Court, in a 9-0 decision, has told Donald Trump and his administration that he must return, that he must be brought back. Lower courts have said the same thing. The administration has said they sent him there by mistake. This is a constitutional crisis moment. We cannot allow Donald Trump to cross the red line of not listening and following orders of the Supreme Court. This is not about just Kilmer. Look, this is much bigger than him and his story. This is about the Constitution and whether we're going to actually follow what the Supreme Court says. So we have to demand that Donald Trump bring back Kilmer. That's why I was in El Salvador. That's why others will continue to go and advocate for Donald Trump to follow the Supreme Court and bring him back.
All right. California Congressman Robert Garcia, our good friend. We'll see you again soon. Thank you.